What we can't wait for is the presentation to get right, because I'm ready. I'm just saying. I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. Now I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now, I feel at home. I feel at home. And so every day I'm grinding was a song that was supposed to play. And because I grind all the time. And I'm going to keep it 100. Now, look, don't judge me. Okay? All right. I had no clue who this was before. Hey, don't trip. Before March 31st, I had no clue. I had no clue. And then, so let me tell you what happened on March 30th. So the morning of March 30th, I got a phone call at 6:52 a.m. And it was my brother. He said, hey, Christine been in an accident. Parenthetically pause, verbal parentheses. That's my niece. So he said, Christine been in an accident. We need to go to the hospital. Like, okay, what kind of accident? She fell down the stairs? What kind of accident? He's a car accident. I was like, okay, all right, on the way. Get to the hospital. Fast forward a little bit. She passed away on March 30th. 27 years old with 2 children. Said, wow. So all we could talk about was the kids. What's going to happen with the kids, right? So the next day, old boy passed away. All they talked about was his legacy. Now I'm like, wow, his legacy. So I didn't know who he was. So what I do? I Googled him. Not a good idea. Because I Googled him and they said he was an artist, right? He rap, he sing. All right, cool. Let me listen to his music, right? Come on, Jesus, bring it through. Come on. Oh, no. What'd he say now? Oh, did he? What? I know he ain't whoa. Oh, I better put this down because this not working with my life. You know, see the way my ears set up, I don't listen to that kind of stuff. But I was like, all right, let's keep moving. Then it was kind of a war on social media because you had some people downing him for what he's saying, but then you had people uplifting him for what he did. And I was like, oh, he did what? Wait, not only did he get shot, he got shot in front of his store. His store. See, and if you didn't know, he had a store and he named it Marathon. Marathon is a little bit longer than a sprint. Called it a marathon. I was like, all right. So he had a store. He was giving folks money. Okay, cool. Wait, he bought the block? He bought the whole block and put stores in there? Hired the people from the community? Oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't have listened to his music. I should have looked at his message. Cool. Because, see, I got caught up in what I saw. Because I saw the tats. I listened to the music. And I got it twisted, right? So, adults, please check out for a minute. I'm not talking to you. All right. See, sometimes what happens when you walk in the classroom and you look a certain way and a certain thing coming out your mouth, the teachers get it twisted. Because they really don't know how smart you are because that's not the image that they see in the beginning. I'm just saying, keep it 100. Because what can't happen is you walk in and your pants sagging and your books are somewhere, not with you though, and you go to class and you looking at the teacher like, teach me. She's not thinking that you're a mogul. She's not, because that's not what you're presenting. And I kept thinking, like, why didn't I know who this brother was? Because of the way he looked. Because of what he's saying. Because I wouldn't have been listening to that. And everybody was trying to tell me how amazing he was. Honestly, I don't really think he really knew how truly amazing he was. He knew he was amazing, but I don't believe he knew how amazing he was. Why do I say that? Because there's some doors that he couldn't get through just because of the way he looked. But see, we can look at his bank account and think he had it going on. But could he have done a little bit better or even more? Did he get caught up in his past? that impacted his present, that stopped him from having a future. Let's see. Hours before his death, he had an argument. Some guy. The guy left, came back, and shot him. Now, there's some gray in there. I hear different stories. But is that a foot in your past because he was a gang member that turned millionaire? Did he let go of who he was in order to become who he was supposed to be? And sometimes we become so loyal to unnecessary that it chains us to our past. So I asked the question, are you holding on to something that's going to stop you from becoming who you're supposed to be? So when my girl, Michelle, I made it sound like we was friends, Michelle Obama, when she wrote her book and she said becoming, I said, oh, that's beast right there. That's beast mode. I said, becoming, huh? Yeah. But see, you got to become. Before you can become, you got to get that thing right. And you got to start paying deposits on your future. But sometimes what y'all deposit on y'all future is not going to pay off. And we think because I don't like Miss Johnson, I'm not doing her work. Where they do that at? Let's walk through this, though. You don't like Miss Johnson. You don't do Miss Johnson work. Miss Johnson ain't got to grade no papers. All she got to do is hit 0. You get an F. Your mama tripping. You don't graduate on time. Let's go back. I don't like Miss Johnson, so I don't do Miss Johnson work. But I'm going to parenthetically pause. What's that? What parenthetically pause? What does that mean? I just asked you that. I told you the definition. If I parenthetically pause, what is it? Verbal parentheses, right? So if we go back to where I didn't like Miss Johnson and I didn't do Miss Johnson work, see, I'm really talking about myself because I didn't like Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson taught my 3rd period class in high school. I did not like her. Whatever. So Miss Johnson used to trip because she just talked too much, first of all. That's the first thing. You walk in class, Miss Johnson like, hey, turn your homework in. I'm like, no, don't got it. Okay. Whatever, Miss Johnson. But honestly, I ain't do her work. I ain't like her. I just didn't like her. So you see, fast forward. Let's move over here because I just want y'all to get this right here. So just imagine. Don't judge me. Okay. June 1985. Some of y'all wasn't even born. Don't trip. June 1985, I'm sitting in the car with some of my friends, and it's graduation day, right? And people walking in, they walking into graduation. We standing there talking about, I did not know her mama was that ugly. Look at her. Dang, her grandmama fat. That's crazy. Man, look at that. They walking in graduation. We sitting there tripping. I'm tripping on all them. Where was I at? Yep, I was in the car. I didn't graduate from high school on time because I was in the car talking about people on graduation day. They was full of pomp and circumstance, and I don't care how ugly their mama was or how fat grandmama was, they was walking into graduation. But let's go back. Who I ain't like? What grade I get in Miss Johnson class? F. And you know, it's some classes you got to pass to get out of high school. Those are the teachers that seem to be the hardest because they know you need them. Well, you need the grade. Right. See, Miss Johnson know I need her grade. But it's cool. I flunked Miss Johnson's class. I ain't graduated from high school on time. I graduated out of summer school. I was winning, though. Couldn't tell me I wasn't. I had cool friends. So I went to college. Finally got into college. I didn't get in. I'm going to say this so it sounds sweet. I went to Western Illinois University. They accepted me, and it was awesome. They was the first school that accepted me, so I went. I don't even know if anybody else accepted me. I just went because they took me, right? So I was like, all right, cool, let's get it. I went down there, I found me some more winning friends. Quit playing. What? I ain't go to class. I'm going to class for my mama ain't here. I think, that sounds like a little judgment. Y'all wasn't really laughing with me on that one. Y'all was judging me. So, cool. Didn't go to class. I kicked it. Baby, I got memories. I got some memories from college. Don't trip. So, now this is where I want to be transparent, but if y'all judge me, I'm going to have to put some Vaseline on, take my shoes off, take my earrings out. Y'all know what that means. Right. Let's be clear. So, yep, I was at school kicking it, making memories. I mean, when I tell you making memories, baby, bye. And I got my first report card, my college report card. I came home, Christmas break, because you come home and you get ready to go back. You come home for a minute. My GPA was a 0.923. What school is this? Right. I'm going to need the address because I need to stop by. All right. So, keep it 100. My GPA was a 0.923 after first semester. Then I said, you know what? I got it. I'm going to go to class. I didn't go to class. That's what's wrong. Got to go to class. Got this, boo. I go to class. Still didn't do the work, but I went to class. Whatever. Cool. Thank you. My man, he said, step in the right direction. Boom, let's go. Went back, second semester, GPA was a 1.443. I was like, I came up. Let's go. See? Right. I was clapping, right? The college tells me, guess what? You get invited to not return. I'm not real clear when y'all say like not return. Is that like till Christmas, to the break over? They was like, no, you've been kicked out. See, that's my pretty way of saying it. So I flunked out. Because see, if I say they kicked me out, it's like it's their fault. But I flunked out. See, that's where, let me find my clicker. That's where I learned responsibility. I had to look in the mirror and say I'm responsible for my own actions. And see, I know when I was y'all age, I blamed other people for not being successful or as successful as I should have been. I blamed other people. And it felt better. It felt better to say it was somebody else's fault why I wasn't being successful. See, it was cool to say they kicked me out, they tripping. But if I went back and I go back and I say, you didn't go to class. You kicked it all night. You got some great memories, but you flunked out. Cool. See, but I was in an old school household. My parents, they was part of the Now What ministry. So when things happened, they went, now what? Okay, so you flunked out. Now what? So I'm thinking I'm cool. I'm good. That means school over. When I ain't got to go to school no more, I flunked out of school. They was like, no, there's other schools. I was like, you want me to go to another one? I already flunked out of one. I'm good. They was like, no, not good enough. Let's go. So I enrolled in the college downtown Chicago. So I had to take the L. I like being in Chicago and being at home. You know why? Because when I say the L, y'all know what I'm talking about. They don't know. When I'm out of state, they be like, L? I'm like, whatever. I thought one of them ill. No. So I took the L and I took the bus. And I walked 8 blocks to get to college. And I had to go to a junior college to get my GPA back up to now petition to get back into a university that once asked me to go there. They accepted me, remember? Right. But I had to ask them, could I come back? Because I had to be responsible for my own actions. So I got back in. And when I got back in, baby, let me tell you. I moved to the 24-hour quiet floor. See, I had done enough talking that first semester. I need to shut up now. I need to handle my business. So I started handling my business, and I graduated from Western Illinois University. Yeah, I graduated with over a 3.1. Clap now. Right. But it took me to be responsible for my own actions to understand what needed to happen. And sometimes in life, you're going to fall. And at that point, if you can't get up, at least look up. And see, for me, I was down. My parents was like, no, fix that, look up, even though you can't get up right now. And I started doing that. And I realized that I was in the wrong place. My mindset wasn't ready for what I needed to do. And that's why I thought about Nipsey. And I was like, his mindset wasn't all the way there. He knew it was something connected to owning property. He knew it was something getting money. But there was parts of his life that he didn't have in order. And see, when you do things in decency and in order, everything's come in place. Everything falls in place. You ever had that mentality where you be like, something else, something always going wrong? You ain't got things in order. You're not being responsible for your own actions. You're allowing other people to tell you stuff, and you don't own it. So when I tell you I'm life ready now, bring it on. When I say I stay ready, I promise I do. I promise. See, hiccups don't bother me. I keep moving. Tell you a little trick about hiccups. We're going to sidebar for a minute. Look, come here for a minute. Lean up. Okay. If you ever get hiccups, count backwards from an arbitrary number and they'll go away. My man, I like y'all. Y'all like talk to me. Arbitrary is just any number. So pick like a 7-digit number and count backwards and your hiccup will go away. Okay, lean back. All right. So let's talk about how I got life ready. So when I got that 3.1, over that 3.1 and I graduated from college, it wasn't about now what. It was like, oh yeah, let's get it. So then I became an educator, right? Because now I want to go back and get those who were like me and see they ain't like Miss Johnson, so they ain't do Miss Johnson work. I need to tell them it ain't about Miss Johnson, because whether you do your work or not, Miss Johnson getting paid. They're not going back and say, wait, Miss Johnson, you can't get your check. Did Val do her homework? They ain't saying that. It's real easy for me to average your grade out when you ain't doing nothing. The worst way to aggravate Miss Johnson is to do your work and make her teach you. You want to aggravate Miss Johnson? Miss Johnson, can I come up on your lunch? Hey, Miss Johnson. She like, can I get out the car? Yep, right here, Miss Johnson. Let me help you with your bags. Let's go study. Could you imagine a teacher having to teach somebody they really don't like? I ain't say teachers don't like students. I just was, yes, they did. All right, cool. I ain't going to lie. So when I graduated from college, I became an educator. So I taught school. This is my 28th year. I'm ending my 28th year. Yep. Y'all going, she that old? Yes. She's that old. All right. So I became life ready and I started giving back. So my first year, I started teaching in Chicago. So that was a trick, though. Let me tell you why. I thought I was teaching up north. I was going to be teaching up north. So they gave me directions, and I was driving through the Gold Coast. Have you ever driven the Gold Coast, Lakeshore Drive? And I'm like, oh, yeah. I said, this is about to be one. Oh, this is about to be awesome. And then I'm following directions, and wait, now, hold on, it changed. I was like, okay, they don't have windows, Jesus. What's going on? Okay, I made a wrong turn. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to just go in this building. Wait, that building got the address. Are you sure? You sure? What? Let me just go in, just see. Okay, cool. So I go in, and it was an amazing building. So let me tell you, I started teaching, my first year teaching, 28 years ago in Cabrini Green in Chicago. That's one of the worst projects that was in Chicago. So I'm going to tell you a story real quick. What's my time? Oh, good. I'm good. So look here. So I'm in Chicago, right? So I'm supporting the kids. So I'm going to stay after school because they're doing things. They playing basketball. I need to be there as an educator, as a teacher. Really? You can't handle your baby? See, that's what happened in real life. That's why you don't want to have one right there. Great birth control right there. She is like, So look, so I'm out. I come from the suburbs. I was raised in Bellwood, right? So I'm good. I'm out there. Amen. So I'm out there, and I'm like, okay, I'm supporting the children. They're playing basketball, and I'm supporting them, and it's awesome. So after the game, we're hugging. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to leave now. They're like, okay, all right. So we going, and I'm walking out to my car. I got my bags. I was like, mind you, this about October. I said, oh, my God, they're popping fireworks this time of night. That's cool. So in the meantime, I'm on the ground, and I'm trying to, why am I on? Get off me. So two of my kids had tackled me and started dragging me. I'm like, why y'all dragging me? I don't play like that. Don't get on me like that. I'm just snapping, right? Yeah. And they was like, Miss Humphrey, Miss Humphrey. I'm like, what? That was gunshots. I was like, where? Hey, I came from Bellwood. I ain't never heard no gunshots. I was like, when you say gunshots, what you mean? They was like, the dude on the ramp was shooting at the dude you was walking in front of. Like, don't want fireworks out there? The lights? The little sparks? That want fireworks? That was okay. Oh, I started crying. I was just done. I was like, okay, this might not be the best area to teach in, though. Okay, but I taught there for 7 years. It was the best 7 years of my life, of my educational career. You know why? It wasn't even about the shooting. You know why I cried? Those kids risked their lives for me. They literally could have took a bullet for me because they was willing to tackle me to keep me alive. And that's when I realized that I was keeping them alive. True story. I kid you not. The buildings in Cabrini, they used to shoot all the time, shoot the windows out the school so they couldn't have school, all kind of crazy stuff. Came to school one day, I was like, dang, there's a lot of holes in the windows. Yep. Except I walked in my classroom, all my windows was there. And the kids came to school, and I was like, what happened over the weekend? They was like, they was shooting. But Marcel went out there and told me if they shot your windows out, he was going to take care of that. Okay. Got a little more power than I thought. Cool, that sounds good. Then the Bulls won. The Bulls won the championship that year. And they started looting in Chicago. I don't watch sports. I don't like the news because it's negative, but I knew the Bulls had won. My brother loved the Bulls, right? So when I got to school that morning, I was like, oh my God, the kids brought me stuff. I had cases of popcorn, cases of the chips I like. And I was like, wow, y'all just went shopping and bought me stuff. Miss Humphrey, we was looting. Like stealing? No, we was looting. That ain't stealing. I was like, you know what? I got to move because y'all influencing my thoughts. But I loved every day and they loved me. I've been in delivery rooms. I've been at funerals. I've been at all of that just for my children because I love them and they love me. So when I tell you life ready, I did everything within my power to make sure they was ready for life. And it went beyond the walls of my classroom. You can't teach just in the classroom. You can't. I promise you that. So when I tell you so ready, so let's keep going. So I started in Cabrini Green. And then I said, you know what? I've done good here. I'm going to move further west to the suburbs. And we're going to have an awesome job. I'm going to connect with the kids. It's going to be great. And I moved and I was like, wait, the kids need love too out here. It's not different. They don't come with love. It's not like a package deal when you get to the suburbs. Because everybody talk about the city so much. So I'm like, all right, cool. They need love. All right, cool. Let me just pour into them a little bit. You know what? Then I was teaching so long, I was like, you know what? I'm going to move further west to the suburbs, and it'll be different. They'll come with love. They ain't come with it. So I realized then, no matter where you go, kids need love. And you got to touch them. So you got to reach them to teach them. So that's one of my journeys in life is to travel the country and talk to educators about reaching children so they can teach them. Because I promise you, if you don't care about me, I don't care about what you're saying. But see, we connect the value of the message to the messenger. Let's go back. I don't like Miss Johnson, so I ain't do Miss Johnson homework. The message is what she's trying to give you. The messenger is you in your feelings, Kiki, and you don't like Miss Johnson. I'm just saying. That's what we do. And we act like, Kiki was in her feelings. Y'all know Drake song. Don't act like that. All right. So let me tell you when I began to think big. I'm teaching, and I realized that I was pretty. Well, let me say this. I thought I was pretty good at it. When I realized that what I was good at was connecting with kids. And because I love the kids and they love me, they did the work. They did the work in my class because they know I loved them. When I was in Cabrini Green, I had the youngest, and the number one drug dealer in Cabrini Green in my class. He came to school because the judge told him he needed to or he'd be locked up. He came to school to sleep because he would be on the streets working all night. So when he came to school, he was sitting in the back of my class. His name Marcel Thomas, and I love him to this day. Marcel was sitting in the back and sleep. I told him, I ain't going to bother you. You don't bother me. But you will flunk my class. We clear? He was like, clear. I was like, all right, cool. Judge didn't say I had to pass the class. All right, dog, cool. Let's go. So doing that, and then I got him. I said, I tell you what, I put fruit and milk and cereal back there in my refrigerator. So when you get to school, if you're hungry, eat. Straight up. I was like, yeah. You ain't going to make me work? Dog. You going to flunk my class, though. You clear. He was like, all right, cool, cool. Weeks went on, months went on. Superintendent was coming through. They used to announce that in Chicago, superintendent coming through. I said, hey, look here today, you're going to sit up. Because what you will not do is have superintendent come in here and you sleeping in my class. He was like, all right, I got you. So I'm passing out papers. I just asked him to sit up. I was good at him sitting up. He looked at me. He was like, you ain't going to give me no paper? Oh, you want to work? He was like, ain't we faking it? I need some paper then. I was like, whatever. He did the work, and he got an A on the work. I was like, how you get an A on this paper? I be listening to you. So I don't know whether to be offended or, happy. He was like, no, straight up, I hear you. I hear you. I ain't got time to write that stuff down, though. I was like, I don't get it, though. He was like, I do math all day long. You teach math. I do math all day. I'm in the streets. I take care of myself. I said, all right, cool. Got it. So when I began to teach algebra, that was different from street math. So when I'm teaching algebra, he said, teach me them letters. You want to learn? He was like, quit playing. Teach me the letters. And I was like, all right, cool. And to this day, I still talk to Marcel, and that was 28 years ago. 28 years ago. And he's an amazing kid, but I had to get to know him. And I had to look beyond the tats and all of those things. But sometimes we get it twisted being ourselves and not realizing that we have to be a part of the world. So sometimes getting all this stuff and looking a certain way can be alarming to other people. And y'all know, as African Americans, we got some styles that ain't really like welcoming. I don't understand why y'all let y'all pants hang down. No, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but I just want to say that. All right, cool. So let's go. Let me talk. Oh, wait. No. Think big. Here we go. So what was the name of my book? I got a free book for somebody. What was the name of my book? Raise your hand because I'm not playing. Yes. What was the name of my book? I wish, dog. He said it was Becoming. That's good. That's Michelle Obama book. But you know what? I'm going to still give you a book because you say I'm equal to Michelle. So we good. All right. Yes. You coming. You ain't all the way there. Keep coming. Flunk out to front office. Right. So let me tell you why it's flunk out to front office. I flunked out of college, and I'm now one of the principals at Steele Middle School in Aurora. I'm going to flunk out that room school. And I'll tell you the craziest thing, I never wanted to be an administrator. I was applying for a teacher job, and it was looking at all of my references and all the things, and it was talking about how I connect with children and my discipline skills and all of that. And it was like, why don't you apply to be the principal? Who? I don't like adults like that. You want me to talk to them? No. But I realized to get them to love children, I had to get to know them as well. So I poured into the adults, and I helped them connect with children. And what happens? All the test scores that they talk about raising, they raise. They do. Because if I love you enough, you're going, okay, adults, I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all ever dated somebody and did something, you be like, I wasn't going to do that. Then somebody go, oh, you said you would never do it. Oh, now you're doing it. Right, that. Okay. So that's what happens when I'm in a classroom and when you're teaching and I love them, I love my kids so they do the work. Because now we're having a positive interaction. And I'm not talking to you about why you didn't do your work. I'm praising you for doing your work. And I know we have to get our test scores up and we have to do all that, but the mindset has to be meet the child to teach the child. You got to reach them. And we may not look like our children, but that shouldn't stop us from connecting with them. And you may not look like your teachers, but that shouldn't stop you from connecting with them. You got to think bigger than yourself. Think bigger than where you are. Because, see, had I stayed at the flunk out status, I never would have been running the school. I didn't stay there. And everyone in this room will fail at something, but it doesn't make you a failure. You will fail at something, I promise you. It could be checkers with your daddy. I don't know. But you're going to fail at something. But just know, think bigger. And sometimes a no doesn't mean that you won't get to accomplish that thing. It just means you need to move differently. All right. So when I say achieve big, so now I'm an administrator and I'm impacting an entire school. And that didn't work. I had to go to the next level because somebody said, hey, can you come speak at our conference? Sure. That was in 1999. And they just asked me to speak at a conference because they couldn't get a youth speaker. And I started impacting the lives of young people outside of my walls of my classroom in 1999. And then that became, can you come to our college? Then that became, see, so what happens, these people I'm talking to are growing up, and they keep asking me to come where they are. And that's how I end up traveling the country, speaking to people. Then I'm impacting the lives of educators, and they're going, can you come to our school? Because the greatest conversation is with teachers. Because they need to not have those kiki moments when they don't like certain students. Because if I think you're a failure, I'm going to treat you like one. So the teachers have to, we got to grow too. We're not perfect. We still got issues. Our kids get on our nerves. It's all kind of stuff going at home, but they got to turn that off like you need to turn some stuff off before you walk in the classroom. All right, let's move. So legacy leaver. So what got me about Nipsey, for me, his legacy didn't begin until March 31st. For a lot of people, it started before that, but it didn't for me. It started March 31st because I didn't know who Burr was. I didn't. I mean, I was oblivious. I had no clue. No clue. And then the song Grinding All My Life, I liked it until he got to about the fifth stanza, and I was like, what is that? Why he say it like that? He could just use another word. But he chose those words. And you get to choose who you are in life. You get to choose the path that you're on. And sometimes you think you got all the answers and don't realize it's to the wrong question. Because you think your mama don't know nothing. All right, let me give you a fact right here. Whatever age you are, your parents didn't skip that age. Same game, another year. Sneaking out the house, same thing. They might have snuck out an apartment, you snuck out the house. I don't know. Not doing your homework, they had that moment too. But see, as adults, we really don't sit down with our kids and tell them all the mistakes we made because we want them to do better. So we keep pushing them. So sometimes when you're being pushed and you feel like you're about to flip over, it's because they want you to go further than where they went. And see, that push can come from a teacher as well. And see, what we do as African Americans, we'll throw the race card real quick. She don't like me because I'm black. See, let me tell you this. I tried that with my daddy one time. I was like, Miss Johnson don't like me because I'm black. He said, is your answers black? I wrote with a pencil. He was like, it doesn't matter. If your answers are right, I don't care what color you are and she is, she can't mark them wrong. If you do your work. Now, I'm not going to tell you all teachers are amazing and they love every student. But that cannot be what stops you from being successful. Don't give that so much energy that it stops you from doing what you need to do. Because I promise you, if you go in that class and do what you're supposed to do, color won't be the issue that it really is in your mind. You have to love yourself enough to think about your legacy and be a legacy leaver. So when I travel the country, I worry about what I'm going to pour into the children. And I stand before you and I promise you, I just started telling people I flunked out 2 years ago. No. Oh, it's been a year. I hid that thing. I was a principal. I'm not going to tell anybody I flunked out of school. They don't even know that. Run my check. I'm good. My check still cash. I was good. But you know what? It made me more authentic. It made me more real. And see, it's a little thing like on Amazon where people can Google you and find your books. So I'm in the cafeteria one day, and I'm the principal, so I'm at the school, and I'm talking to the children. You flunked out of college? What? The kid found my book on Amazon and bought the book and read that I flunked out of college. And I was like, I sure did. I owned it. And when I began to own who I was and the things that I did, my life changed. My life changed. So if I cannot challenge you to do anything else, it's to own who you are. Own the things that you do and make a difference in your own life. Don't look for everybody else to make a difference in your life. It's not about, the teacher is not in charge of your learning. She's in charge of the curriculum, but not your learning. You have to take ownership. Thank you for listening to me today.